All right, man. Well, listen, today's top five is, I think, pretty special to me, and so like we can definitely relate to this one. And I'm gonna name all of them, but basically, what is the best situational beer? Not the best beer, right? So it's not like, oh, I love a lager. Oh yeah, that craft stuff. No. What is the best situational beer? So this is what I have in the top five. We'll discuss each one, and then we'll rank them. Okay. So we got the shower beer. Okay. We got the tailgate beer. Okay. We got the pre-guest beer. We got the secret beer. Yeah. And then we have the patio beer. So let's just start from the top with the shower beer. And so I actually want to kick it off because I've recently done a shower beer over the holidays. And so a shower beer for me is typically when I'm running out of time, right? So like I got to get somewhere, or we're going to a Christmas party, or we're going to something else. And like it's 9 p.m. I'm like, holy shit, I need to shower. The beer's coming with me. You know what I mean? Right. And there's something amazing about taking a hot shower and cracking a frosty wobbly pop and just crushing it to your dome piece like Jerome's niece. And it's just incredible. It's sensational sometimes. And like, before you know it, like you're nurturing this beer just standing in front of the mirror, and like you got to brush your teeth, but not until you finish that beer. So for me, the shower beer is like what's it called? It's like a prerequisite sometimes for going out.
Well, it's also like a time management thing, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to crush a few of these while I'm getting soggy, the soggy bottom boys, and it fits it all in, right? Because like the pre-gaming stuff, usually when you're sitting down and you're doing it and blah, 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 blah. With that, you're kind of putting it all together and kind of wheeling and dealing at the same time. And yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said about just being in the buck, staring at the mirror, and just a nice, just cold one. You know what I mean? Just going down the hatch after a hot shower.
Yeah. It's probably similar to, it's probably the closest we can get to like a sauna beer, right? If you think about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, something that you could get to as close as that on the daily. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I think if you bought in a couple wobbly pops in the sauna at the gym, people might be saying, I don't know about this guy over here.
Yeah. You might lose your membership. All right. Listen, tailgate beer. So for those who, I mean, we all know about tailgate parties and stuff like that, but I also call this like the post sport beer. So maybe like you had a soccer game, you know what I mean? Or a hockey game, or you know what? This also applies to like when you were back in college and like you had like group projects with like a team. Yeah. It's like post event beers, which I love.
Yeah.
Like I remember like even in college, like, you know, you're working on a presentation or something with like a crew of 4 or 5 people, and you just, you know, it took 2 months to work on this project. And then you're just like, you know what? Well done, guys. Do you want to go across the street to Gabby's, have a few friggin' dollar beers, and crush a pound or two of wings to your skull?
Dude, I finished up doing that language course at U of T. And so because it was the same group that went all the way through, we all became relatively tight.
Sure.
There's one dude in particular, he was an Irishman, and you know they like to get down, right? So me and him go after we graduate. Last class, the whole nine. We hit this bar out in Yorkville, next to U of T. I got annihilated, just hammer drunk, and took a cab home, whatever, and then woke up, maybe not unlike Dave's earlier story, and I realized I don't have my knapsack.
No.
And so my knapsack, because I've gone to class or the final exam straight from work, my knapsack had my hard drives, my computers, and had very sensitive information on it.
You rotted.
Not to mention all of just like my other stuff as well.
Yeah.
I bring my old computer that barely even works to work to make it seem like it's something I'm doing something, or at least it's a prop. And then I'm like, okay, the place opens up at noon, I guess, for lunch service. I'm like, I got to go check it out. And I was just panicking. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm driving down there. I went at like 10:30. I noticed that the door was open. Looked like maybe someone was trying to get the kind of cleanup going. So I'm like, okay, kind of knock on the door, yell, hello. Nothing. I was just like, man, fuck it. I just broke in basically, like just like opened up the door,
Yeah.
went straight to look around behind the counter, blah, 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 and the bag was just like right there next
Same
to the stool
spot.
I was sitting on.
Yeah. That's incredible. So you guys
It was
bonded.
a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
was-
You guys bonded. And that's what I like about the post-event beers is because like if it's college and even like your soccer team, right? So like I put a lot of soccer, there's 11 players on that team and like we know each other from soccer, but you don't really know everybody, right? Because they're not like in your life often. So like there is a sense of like camaraderie and like you're having a couple beers in the parking lot, you know, you're smoking cigarettes, you're on them cigarettes. Before you know it, you're like driving home, it's midnight, your eyes are a little bit glazed and you're like, I should probably hit these side streets if you know what I'm saying. But it's a good time. I like the tailgate beers. Those are really fun. And again, those can be more than just sports. All right, we got the pre-guest beer. So you're having people over at 6.
All-time favorite. An absolute all-time favorite. Just your post-shower. So you might have had a shower beer, but even if you didn't, you're decked out. You got shoes on in the house. You're feeling just crispy. Just Crispin Glover over here.
Yeah.
And you crack a frosty. You have the kind of the mug in the freezer for a little bit. And then you crack a frosty tall boy, plop that in, have a good sit.
You have to
do the cross-legged action on the ottoman in front. You take and just lean back and enjoy the sit. And the just the cold, refreshing, crispy brew going down your gullet.
You know what I like about this one too is it for me. Shout out to my wife, but it also happens typically when like your significant other is getting ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Buys you about 2 hours.
It's 2 beers. You know what I mean? At least. Yeah. And so what happens is like, and it's up to you to really moderate what happens, right? So it depends on who your guests are, right? And I guess you could do the same thing if you're going out, right? But it depends who your guests are. Like if the in-laws are coming or like your folks are coming over for dinner, maybe it's not a beer, dude. Maybe you're just hitting the liquor, Randy Bobrandy. And you know, by the time 6 o'clock rolls out, you're ready to rock that dinner.
Oh yeah. So sometimes you don't even make it to dinner.
Yeah.
You're just hammered.
They're like, where does Stu go?
If you start on the Woodford Reserve before the folks or in-laws come over, oh, forget about it. You're not making it to dessert. That's happened to me many times. That's been a problem.
Yeah, but at least you look good, right? All right, yo, check this one out. The secret beer. And people are going to be like, what the hell is a secret beer? It's exactly that. So there was this one time where I was at it was like a fun fair for kids, right? I was like with some family members and there were some kids and they're doing like, hopscotch and there's like games and there's food and all this stuff. And, you're walking around, I kind of lost the gang, if you know what I mean. And I see a couple of homies sitting on a cooler in the corner. And this is at like a public school on a weekend. Right. And I'm like, and I kind of just come closer. I'm like, what you guys got over there? Right. And they're like, well, you want a beer, bud? And so like I snuck in 2 beers in like 30 minutes and there's like, obviously they're not selling liquor or they're not selling booze at this event or anything.
It's contraband.
Like That's contraband. I'm like, thanks very much. And then I go find my people again. And then people are like, hey, where were you? I'm like, oh, just was looking for the washroom. I found it. It's just around the corner there if you like. And then in your head, you're like, I just snuck in a couple beers here. You know what I mean?
Oh, that one. But because that one's good though. It was a secret beer, but you also had company. Because there is something about
they were doing secret things too.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's something about like if you're at like, I don't know, like your niece's birthday party or something, and you sneak off into your closet to like slam to shotgun 2 Coors Lights, you feel like scum.
Yeah, hit that fireball in the closet.
Yeah, you got firebomb.
You have a firebomb problem. No, but you've always heard people when they're just like, how many times have you run into someone like, I'm like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? Like, oh man, not much. You know what I mean? I had to go to this stupid course. You know what I mean? It was so boring, 8 hours. But you know what? I met this dude and like, we went for beers after. It was actually pretty good. You know what I mean? But don't tell my wife. You know what I mean? Or anything like that. You're like, secret beers happen all the time.
Especially if you're at any sort of mature or adult course. So if you're doing like a con ed course at like a university or college, or, or even in high school for that matter, because they do some of those, or like you're like working at heights training, or like I don't know, some sort of like coding class on the weekend. Everybody there are just really degens that just want to kind of turn up and meet some new people, right? Like, it's really what it is. So you always go there and you're kind of looking around. It's a little shady at first, and then the guy approaches you afterwards and is like, "Hey, wouldn't mind getting to know you. Like, you want to go for a pint afterwards?" 4 a.m. like that.
Yeah. Still a secret.
Over. Still a secret.
All right, check it. Last one. Now, it's the patio beer. Probably almost untouchable, right?
Untouchable. This one
has to be number one, right?
It is for me, especially on a boiling hot day, a ice cold one on the patio with a little bit of an awning or like an umbrella or canopy. You hike up those shorts to being close to the groin. You roll up the sleeves up to your shoulders, and it's just heaven. I mean, in particular for guys like us living in Canada, where it's only warm like 3 weeks of the year, and it's stinking warm too. So it just hits you like a ton of bricks, and you just want to get out there and have the frostiest, coldest, tasty treat you can have.
Yeah, the funny thing about a patio beer is the second the weather, when you check the weather app and it says patio, the patios are open at like 10 a.m. So you can the
weather app doesn't actually give you temperatures. It just has a picture of a patio on it.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, 5. I know.
Yeah. Patio Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just says P.
Yeah. Yeah. Just says P and then has a little circle next to it.
Exactly.
It's patio clock.
So you can actually go hit a patio at 10 a.m. and basically stay there until 6 p.m.
And people wouldn't judge you. People like legit, like when they're going to work and they see a bunch of dudes on the patio, they're like,
wish I could be on that patio.
I wish I could be there. There's jealousy there because you just know what a good time these guys are having. Like, and it's unparalleled.
It's funny too because there's like people just build a patio for the sake of building a patio, but people love it, right? So you see some of these like small little, hole in the wall bars and stuff like that, and they just like, I guess they're like a carpenter on the side. They just build like a 2-man patio in the front, and there's a lineup for that one table.
Dude, they'd rather demo the whole building and make their bar a patio. Like, why isn't there they're just call your bar patio, and it's just a patio. There's no inside.
There's no inside.
Everything's outside.
Yeah, it's just a patio one big umbrella.
It's just a giant umbrella. Like the roof is just an umbrella. Patio chairs and tables as far as the eye can see, and just the crispiest crispy boys on the planet.
Okay, so then let's rank these, okay? Shower beer, tailgate beer, pre-guest beer, secret beer, patio beer. Let's start with number 5. It's
5 for me. The secret beer.
Oh, secret beer. Okay.
This is 5. You're going 5 being the lowest, of course, right?
Bottom of the totem pole, bud.
Bottom of the totem pole. Secret beer is actually 5 for me.
Shower beer for 4.
Shower beer for 4. Post sport. 3.
Yeah.
Pre-guest 2.
Patio 1.
Patio 1. Okay, so we had a little bit of a jumble between 4 and 5, but we're more or less on the same page.
Okay, we got the top 3 in order, and that's all that matters.
And I implore anybody out there listening, if you've got a different organization of the list, or if we've missed one that you think is just the most divine beer, you let us know.
Or straight up, like you could just be going to a secret post-event patio beer.
You're going to one of those secret beer meetings.
You're going to a secret beer meeting on a patio that happens to take place after an event, and then you got to shower.
I assume that's where the Illuminati gets most of their work done.
That's exactly where they get it done.
Yeah, they're just a round of Coors Lights for everybody, and they're like, okay, how do we take over the world right now? What are we going to do? Okay, unleash the virus.
Well, that's it, folks. That's it for this episode of the Fierce Kingz Podcast. Remember, you can hit us up on Fierce Kingz at gmail.com if you want to submit anything for you, Rod, or if you just want to chat. And if you want to chat even more, you can hit us on that Twitter. You can hit us up on that YouTube. You can hit us up on that Instagram. Any last words, Stewie P?
Always remember right now, you are not listening to the Fierce Kingz.
And that's what's it.